Welcome all. We are going to start with our 18th lesson, that is sound and production of sound. So basically now they have given you some events and they have told you to put tick mark in the box which you have experienced, and if you have not, you just put the cross. For example, have you experienced clapping your hands together? Yes. Have you played any of the musical instrument? Yes. Have you burst a firecracker? Yes. Knocked at the closed door? Yes. Whistled using a cap of the pen? We are doing most of the time. So these things which you can see over here, 10 activities you have almost did in your life. So it is seen that from the above examples that the sound is generated due to the variety of events. Now you can see from this sound is been getting generated, and it is generated because of these events. If in some examples sound was generated due to the vibration of an object, for example the bell, the strings of or the diaphragm of the musical instrument. Basically, if you are knowing, in 6th standard we have listened, or 6th standard we have studied that sound is being produced when there is a vibration, and when there is a vibration we can hear it clearly. So a bell or the strings or the diaphragm of the musical instrument, while in some example like bursting a cracker, clapping, a lightning strike, vibrations are not actually felt, but you can hear the sound. Now what you can tell from this, however vibrations are produced in those cases as well. Actually if sound is been getting produced, the reason behind it is just the vibrations, and in some examples you don't feel the vibrations, but actually they are present over there. All these vibrations are imparted to the molecules in the air and sound is being produced, and because of this vibration sound is getting produced. You might have seen that when a stone is thrown in the calm water, waves are generated. Same way, when the sound is just emerging out of the sound source, that time that vibrations have been carried because of the air, and it directly reaches to our ear, and afterwards we can hear the sound. Now basically they have given over here the tanpura, or the what we can say guitar, the tabla player who is playing the tabla by hammering the pegs to adjust the tension in the diaphragm of the tabla. Diaphragm is what? The flat surface which is present over there. Diaphragm is the flat surface of tabla or any of the musical instrument which after banging vibrates and produces the sound. The pitch of the sound depends upon its frequency. How loud the sound will be, it is depending totally upon the frequency. In Indian music, the musical notes such as sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni are increasingly, and they are in the higher pitch. If you can see, the sound notes are increasing. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. It just goes on increasing. That's why they are coming under higher pitch. In scientific terms, frequency is a measure of pitch. So pitch is measured in the terms called frequency. So you have learned how the sound is generated. Now it reaches us on traveling through some medium, and it is heard by us. For example, in your 6th standard you have already studied how sound waves come near your ears. There is a small sheet, there is a small thin layer present in your ears, that is called the ear diaphragm. The waves come and just strike on that diaphragm, vibrations are produced, the nerves carry the message to your brain, and then you can hear the sound. This was the process. In the present lesson we will learn more about the vibration, pitch, intensity, and the level of sound. So what are vibrations? Vibrations can be termed as the oscillation or the movement to and fro. Pitch, intensity, and the level of sound we are going to study now. When the string of the musical instrument such as tanpura, the lady which is carrying that, a big one part, it is called the tanpura, if it is plugged, then the strings can be seen to vibrate. Put the two ends of the vibrating end are still. As it vibrates, the string moves to one side of the central position and come back to the central position. Basically, when the string vibrates of guitar also, you can feel that the ends where the string is attached, the two ends where the string is attached, it doesn't move, but the middle part moves, it vibrates. The half of the part just, it goes front and again it comes back. The middle portion just go front, it comes back, again go front, again it comes back, and after some time if you remove your hand back, it will stop. So this is called as vibration, and this motion is called to be as periodic motion, because after fixed interval it again come at the same position. So sound is generated by the rhythmic vibrations of the object. We can hear the sound as long as the object vibrates. When the object stops vibrating, we cannot hear the sound. But when we touch the vibrating object by our hand, the vibration stops and we no longer hear the sound. If something is vibrating and if you just put your hand over there, the vibrations stop and you cannot hear the sound later. Vibrations are so minute that you cannot feel or you cannot see them by your eyes also sometimes. So make the list of the musical instrument you are familiar with. This can be done as an activity part for you. Such vibrations that produce the sound can be studied with the help of the simple oscillator. So what is meant by oscillator, what is meant by oscillation, and what is meant by oscillatory motion? Basically, if you take the pendulum, it moves front, it moves back, it just takes the, it goes front back like to and fro. If you sit on the swing in the garden, it goes front, it comes back. So that object which is doing that process is said to be as the oscillator. Oscillation means what? The process which it is doing. For example, it goes front, it comes back, means it moves from one end to the another end and it is completing one particular oscillation, that is called to be as oscillation. And oscillatory motion means what? The back forth motion of an oscillator from the front side of the central position towards the back side of the central position is said to be as the oscillatory motion. Basically, oscillatory motion is the motion of an object which moves to or fro or which moves back or forth. Okay, so they have given you same thing over here. This is called as oscillation. Now we will see what is meant by amplitude. Amplitude means what? When the rubber band is stretched and it releases, it vibrates. When the rubber band is stretched and releases, it vibrates. Basically, we know all these things. Compare the vibrations with the figure given alongside. When the rubber is stretched from the original position A and it comes to the B, that time the maximum distance which is covered from A to B is called the amplitude. Basically, now rubber is at the middle. You can see in this example. When you will stretch it or when you will just move it, it will move from the central position, it will move from the middle and it will go front. So from middle, when it will go front or when it will go back, that part which is been covered is said to be as the amplitude of that vibration. So when the greater force is applied, you can see the amplitude increase. Obviously, if you stretch a little bit, if you give more force, it will, the amplitude will be more big. Okay, and if the smaller force is been given, the less will be the amplitude. Now they have given you the basic example of the pendulum. Now you can clearly see in this example, pendulum, the central position is A, it is moving to C. So that part, the middle part which is been covered, it is said to be as the amplitude. Okay, so the stretched rubber returns to its original state when it is released. This property is said to be as elasticity. Elasticity, we all are familiar with this word. Elasticity means what? When you just give a little force, it moves and it is stretched from the original position, like the original position changes, and that is said to be as the elasticity. When a stretched rubber band vibrates, elasticity doesn't work. When it starts vibrating, there is no use of that elasticity. And when the pendulum oscillates, the gravitational force is always at work. Actually, gravitational force is always working over here. There is nothing or there is no day like that the gravitational force doesn't work. So gravitational force always acts on each and everything. Now the time period for the oscillation and the frequency. So basically we are going to see now what is the time period for the oscillation and the frequency. Now the time required by the oscillator to complete one oscillation is called as the time period. I will just show you with the help of this example now. See, it started from A. When it moves, it goes to C. Again it comes to A and again it goes to B. So it completes its one round. Basically they have given you the name over here. It like BACAB. Now just see over here, BACAB. BACAB. So it starts from B, it comes to A, it goes to C, again it comes to A, again it goes to B. So from where it started, again it comes back to the same position. So that is called as the time period. Means if I have told you in the simple example, like if you are sitting on the swing, a front and back, when you do that motion, when you will go front, you will go back, again you will go front. So that front when you will come, so from one front to the another front, that part is said to be as the time period of that oscillation. Okay, so Here time period of the oscillation is denoted by T, and the frequency, how the frequency is measured, frequency is denoted by N. So frequency, the formula is 1 upon time period of the oscillation. 1 upon what is the time required for the oscillation is termed to be as its frequency. Now frequency is measured in the unit called as hertz, that is Hz, and 1 hertz means there is one oscillation in 1 second. 1 hertz means what? One oscillation is performed in 1 second. Okay, so now just see this part you are almost doing with in your class. You are just keeping the scale and just what we can say, you're pressing down one part of the scale. It is when it is releases, it vibrates. So this part you can see clearly. Okay, now will the sound be generated no matter how the ruler is kept on the table? No. So for generating sound, vibrations are required, and if the scale is kept totally covered in the table, there will be no sound production. If you keep properly in that particular manner which they have shown over here, that time only sound production will be more. Okay, here there are more examples. This part is omitted. So the time period of the oscillation depends upon the length of the pendulum. So pendulum, how much big it is, that much time period will be required. So the time period of the oscillation increases if the length of the pendulum increases. If the length is more, the time period required to cover one oscillation will be also more. And frequency will always remain same if the amplitude decreases also, increases also, no matter what happens. Now what is meant by high pitch and what is meant by low pitch? I will just explain this part. High pitch means you are knowing. We have seen the example like the sounds which are in the increasing tone. Okay, this example part which they have given over here, it is just to be omitted, like there is nothing more in this. They have only told you that when the tension of the wire increases, the frequency is seen to increase, and when it is reduced, the frequency also seems to be reduced. For example, the wire which has been tied over here, when you pluck it, it moves. That time the frequency also increases, and when it starts resting, the frequency also starts resting, that frequency goes on decreasing. This is what is called as the high pitch or the low pitch. So high pitch means what? When the sound production is more, and the low pitch means what? When the sound production is less. Sometimes you have hear the sound of the mosquito also which is humming side to you. You have heard the now we are going to see the intensity of sound. Intensity of sound means the sound level. Loudness and the softness are the two terms. Basically, intensity of the sound and sound level are also two terms. Sound level is the intensity of the sound as perceived by our ears. Means how much sound you can hear and by your ears is said to be as the sound level, and it depends upon the intensity. Intensity means what? If the pitch is high, then you can hear that sound very loudly. So for example, the amplitude is double if the intensity of the sound becomes 4 times as much. If amplitude is more, the intensity of sound becomes 4 times. If it is 3, then it becomes 6 times. It goes on, it gets just increasing. So decibel, that is dB, is the unit for measuring the sound level. For frequency, we know it is hertz. It was named by the decibel in honor of the work by the great scientist Alexander Graham Bell. The magnitude of the sound level, decibels, can be deduced from the intensity of the sound using the mathematical formula. So here when the intensity of the sound becomes 10 times the original, the sound level increases by 10 dB. If intensity of sound becomes 10 times the original sound, the sound level which is there, it is also increasing by 10 decibel. Now here there are few sounds given to you. When the beginning of the audible sound means which you can hear, it's 0 decibel. Normal breathing, it's 10 decibel. Murmuring, just moving up your lips, it's like 30 decibel. Normal conversation between two people is 60 decibel. Heavy traffic is 70 decibel. So these are the decibels and these are the sounds which have been given over here. Hearing is temporarily affected if the frequency is greater than 1000 hertz. If you hear the sound which is more than 1000 hertz, your hearing capacity can be affected. So workers who are working in the aeroplane engines experience this. They can experience the deafness because of the sound which is produced at the airports is more high, or the high pitch one. Now which are the audible sound? The audible sound are the sound which frequency is somewhere about 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. 20 k hertz. K means kilohertz. So this is the sound which you can hear. Infrasonic sound means what? Like when the leaves are falling from the tree, that sound you cannot hear. If you move your hands in the air, that time also you cannot hear the sound, but actually the sound is produced. So, and the next one is the ultrasonic sound. Ultrasonic sound is which is higher than 20 kilohertz frequency, that is called to be as ultrasonic. Now these human beings cannot hear this sound because some animals like dog can hear such type of sounds. So when you hear this sound after a certain medium or after a certain level, you can experience deafness, so better we should stay away from it. Ultrasonic sound, the uses are given over. It is used for cleaning the delicate ornaments. It is used for observing the internal organs of the body, to detect the tumors in the brain, to detect the faults in the metal. If there is a fault in any of the metal, then it can be detected in the radar system for the security purpose, to kill the microorganisms. And the sonar means sound navigation and ranging technology, which is used in the ship to detect if there is big stone or any of the icebergs which is there in between or not. So I hope this lesson you have understood. This much is there in this lesson, so you can listen to it and just understand. Thank you.